Hello and welcome to the next lecture, or I think it's more of a guide this time, where we're gonna set up the server and connect the SSL or HTTPS if you want to the server via Quarkus. So we're gonna create a Quarkus server, connect the HTTPS for it, and we'll serve it as is. So I'm using Google Cloud because it's more convenient for me to display and show everything here than in the AWS. But you can feel free to use whatever you like. We just need some server where we can connect connect the domain and use the SSL. So for a secure socket layer or SSL, or we can say HTTPS, we're going to use the Letsencrypt project. Letsencrypt, which is there is probably the other name for it is a certbot if you only use the command line or something like this, but the service called Letsencrypt, which is free. So basically, you can create a Google Cloud platform for free. At Google Cloud, you have $300 of credit, and again, the certbot itself is free, so you basically don't need to do it all. Anything, so I mean pay, yeah, you don't need to pay anything here. So the other thing that we're going to use is you'll need to pay for a domain, of course. So I have this old and used domain called AI Guide Tours. We'll use this AI Guide Tours. You can see this basically fresh. It's just when I registered it, so it's from October 20. I registered it and it wasn't used at all, so it's like super fresh. And this project is like my first project. There's nothing to additional here, so what we can do is let's firstly create a server. Let's go to the computer engine by m instances, and let's create one for us, right? So let's name it whatever. Let's name it hello server service, yeah. So label, we don't need any labels right now. Region, let's keep it as closer for me, Frankfurt, you're West Frankfurt, you're SC, wherever. So power window series, let's see, second generation. We don't need first generation. This like super easy. I think we can even go with a micro or small. All right, let's take 2 GB just for sure. And let's actually change Debian to Ubuntu, because there's everything that if you're starting, you can use Ubuntu freely wherever. For Debian, you'll need to tackle a bit with the dependencies to have like everything that you have, but whatever. 10 GB is more than enough, so we'll use Ubuntu 16. I haven't used those yet, but oh, there is even 19. Okay, so yeah, this will work. So we'll select the Ubuntu here. Container image, we don't need to put it yet. We can, of course, we can for sure use a Docker. So in Google Cloud Platform, you can click this button and then you put a Docker image, and it will deploy it. Even they have in container optimized OS, so that's super perfect. Yeah, so this will work. Actually, let's actually use in one. I don't know, I've never used it. So we have okay, G1 mic small. Okay, we'll use this one. So we allow HTTP and HTTPS traffic for us as well. Let's create an instance. You can see hello service, and it's actually starting to run. And we're interested in this external IP actually. So let's see if it's actually running. Let's see. Let's connect to it. And it's another thing that I like in the Google Cloud platform, that you have a super useful SSH. And I think I can even do this. So it's like super nice. And so yeah, so you can see. So we have this thing. This empty server, right? And so the main thing is that it's working, right? We can close it for now. We don't need it right now. So we're interested in this external IP. Let's take it and go to the domain advanced DNS. I use a Namecheap. So let's set up an A record. Just click on the advanced DNS if you're using the Namecheap, or I think you should have something similar in the any, like, I don't know, HostGator or something. There is like named and so you can click and add a new record. I'm using the same. There is like a, you can use their DNS, the name, and you can also connect it to Google's DNS, but I don't want to waste the time for it. But it's totally doable. It's more robust and flexible, but that's more than enough. So we need to have this host called @, with the @ symbol, which points to root, and then the ID address is just basically our external IP, 4.89.174.90, right? So yeah, we save it and save all changes. And this sadly will take a while, I think, because of the the DNS update. So it's probably 32 more minutes. I'll put a 5. This won't matter at all because it first need to register, and then the time to lifetime will be active. But for now, it's not working. So yeah, we'll switch to our Quarkus part, right? Okay, times changed. I waited a little bit before it all settles down. I also changed the where is it? The endpoint to. Let me find the. Okay, here. So I also restarted the hello service, changed it. So it's now hello service 2. The external IP is different, but you get the idea. So you put an A record @ and then the IP. So I also installed default OpenJDK. You can just call the app install and then open JDK, something like the default. There will be like, you can just Google install Ubuntu install Java OpenJDK. So that's enough. And so the only thing is that we need Maven, but if you install Maven on the Ubuntu, at least this version 16.04, you will need the Maven will be different than required. So required Maven is 3.6, which we'll install. I have here a cheat sheet here. So let's download Maven, right? So I have here, I'll take this one, Apache Maven 3.6, and do we have unzip? No. Okay, so let's install unzip. I have sudo -s apt install unzip. That's the first thing that we're interested in now. So we can get this thing. You can just copy it over from the Maven Apache org, right? So like this. So we downloaded it. You can see it here, unzip Apache Maven 3.6 unzip. So we have now in the tilde folder Apache Maven 3.6.3. We can remove the Apache Maven 3.6 zip file when we need, whatever. Let's not touch it. So now we need to add it to a path. That's done. So we won't edit anything. We'll just export one method. So we just use let's actually use this folder like this. So we'll use the Apache Maven 3.6.3 bin as a path, right? So we exported it. Now we have a Maven here version, and you can see that it's 3.6.3. So that's exactly what we need. So I also have here a predefined command for Maven. Let's execute it. So there is default Quarkus Maven plugin, right? And then the project group ID is tech.now, project artifact hello, and then greeting resource, tech.now greeting resource, which will serve from the /hello paths, right? So let's execute it, and we'll have a, I think, hello folder. So yeah, build succeeded. So this is very important point. If you have Apache Maven below 3.6, this will fail. So just few more times remember this. If something fails, firstly check Maven, secondly check Java, especially if it fails when you start. So there is I had like a OpenJDK, and then I have had some project that was dependable on the Oracle JDK and it was failing. So yeah, check these two things firstly, and then if not, then So yeah, this part is there. So yeah, so let's open our hello folder, and let's firstly try to go to the src main resources and in application properties. Here we can set up Quarkus HTTP port to, let's say, 80 in our case. Why 80? Because we opened by default. I don't want to tackle any settings for the machine, but we have open 80 and 8080, actually 80 and 443. So yeah, so let's go back to our hello folder and let's execute our mv Quarkus dev, whatever, even if it's Quarkus dev. If we run it for dev, so I actually forgot to install JDK, so installed on the Java runtime environment, JRE. So let's install it as well. This sudo apt-get install default JDK. Click yes, and you get a Java itself, the Java development kit, and yeah, this will work. So now we can call our maven Quarkus dev. Now we have a Java development kit, and let's yeah, so it will load all the classes that is needed, and after that you see that it's listening the socket 504 and the port is 00080. So now we actually can go to this thing. Let's copy it over, open, and go to the 80 port, and of course /hello. And that's actually not working. That's bad. Because we have an HTTPS. So now if we disable the HTTPS, so if you go only on HTTP, right, like this, you will see that we have this our thing working perfectly on the 80 environment. But the point of this is not to set up the let's say the container, right? Our point is to use advanced our point is to set up an SSL, which we actually wanted from the start. So this will be done via a few additional installs. So first thing we need to install in our environment, let's disable it for now. So the first thing we need to install is certbot. Let's see if it's there. Yes. Okay. So now we can verify. We can use our certbot by next command, certbot cert only, and then minus a manual preferred challenges DNS, and then domain AI guide tours, which is here, AI guide tours. So now, okay, I misspelled one of them. Challenges, like this. So now we're starting our check. So are you okay with your IP being logged? Yes. Perform the following challenges. Please deploy the nest text record under the name. So we need to add the txt here. That's easy. So oops, yeah, so we need to have a, where is it? Let's copy it over here. Let's add a new record called txt. It's their txt record. Host is this one. Okay, so we need to put Acme challenges like this here, and then value will be this one. All right, just copy over everything here. So you put the text, the host is Acme challenge, and then the value is this that was specified. Let's edit. So let's edit this text to record. Now we just need to wait a little bit, and yeah. So yes, it shows yes. Please deploy. We entered, and of course it's not so fast as, you know. So it will just, we are waiting for verification. Once it's done, okay. I just closed the video recording, and it's just approved. So it was super fast. Still I still can remember, can't understand how it's fast in this, like 5 years ago it was a lot longer, but yeah. So now you see that we have a congratulations, your certificate and chain have been saved at blah blah blah. So we have this thing, PEM file, right? A key file has been saved at private key PEM, so HTTPS Letsencrypt live AI guide truth, right? So now what we want to do is actually, let's see if we have OpenSSL. If not, we need to install it. Okay, it's there. So we need to open SSL. We use this function. So we use this type, export and out. Here we want to specify our, let's use this one like this. So we'll name it, oops, that's a bad thing. So we'll name our certificate, it's called bundle pfx, like this. And then the second part will be, we need to specify a cert file. Yeah, so we need to put the input. Let's create a new line, right? Minus in. Okay, so let's try to use this. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. So let's put chain PEM, and then the cert file will be actually cert PEM. Cert PEM will be like this, and then cert file will be this thing, but with a chain PEM like this. And then minus password. Let's put I don't know, test 22. I don't know why not. Actually, wait, password. I'm doing it the wrong way. Pass equals test 22, like this. So this command will generate a pfx file which we'll need for our Quarkus. So I already misused one of the keys, so there should be in. So let's create it one more time. So we need open SSL. We use PKCS 12, export, and then out we use this thing, bundle pfx. We'll name it like this, and then in key. That's what I misused actually. So this one is this thing, but we need to have a brief key that was specified PEM, like this. Next thing will be actually in, this time in, and then we use the same thing that we used here. We use the, oops, that was not correct. Let's see. Cert, what was that? Sort PEM here, and then we put a cert file, and here will be chain PEM. So we'll just reuse this thing. Actually this one should be with the space here, like this. Cert file will be cert PEM, like this. And the last thing will be password, which will be word pass test 22. Why not? So okay, so it's there, right? We have everything set up, so we can show. I think we can show it. So it's, yeah, so you can see that it's present, it's binary file, and it's perfect, so we don't need, okay, we can press N in our case. So now we can put it into our Quarkus. So we're already here, right? So now that we have our file ready, right, so this etc Letsencrypt live AI guide tours bundle pfx, we can put it into the, we can use it in our app, right? So we go to cd main resources, open it in Vim applications, and let's put here, what should we put here? Quarkus HTTPS SSL certificate, and then key store file, like this. So now we actually need to, let's save it, and oops, let's save this thing, and let's copy our bundle pfx here. So, and let's put it right here. And we need also to specify Quarkus HTTP SSL certificate type, if I'm not wrong. Key store file type, yes. Key store file type, and this one, in our case, it's PFX, like this. And also we need to put a password in our case. It's the same thing. Quarkus HTTP SSL certificate key. I see here a problem. Key store password. Password equals test 22. So in theory this should be enough. So let's see if it's working, right? So let's save it. And also we want to change a port to 443 because it's SSL HTTPS port. So now we can do the Quarkus MVN Quarkus dev in our case. So it should start on the 443 port, and it's failing because no plugin for Quarkus because we're not in the right folder. Okay. So now in hello, we run it once more. So you can see that it's starting in 504.5, and then it shows that we need to, so it's failed because unknown key store type PFX. Okay, that's okay. Valid types are JKS and PKS 12. Okay, so we need to copy it over. So we need to change our PFX. I actually misused it. Not actually the PFX, but PKS. Let's see, where is it? So we have SRC, main resources, application resources. So here it should be PFX PKCS12, like this. So one more thing that we need to add is actually, besides the HTTP port, when you add all the key store stuff, you need to put Quarkus HTTP SSL port. So this will basically provide us when you specify the SSL, the Quarkus will start to run on 2 ports, and by default the HTTP port will be 8080, right? And the SSL port will be 8443. 8443, sorry. So we will redefine it as 443 because it's default for the Google Cloud Console, right? So now we can save it and we can run Quarkus dev. So that's enough. Now, when we start, so you can see that it's listening in port 504, and now you can see that hello 0110 snapshot running on Quarkus started in 3 seconds, listening on 80 and then 443, which is exactly what we need. So let's open our 883, and you can actually see that HTTPS, I actually said HTTPS. So it says it's not secure, but we still can proceed. Actually, no need to wait. I'm a little bit stupid because I used the port instead of the domain. So now we go to AI guide tours, right? You will see that we have, well, in this case it's HTTPS, like this. So if we go to the HTTPS AI guide tours, you will see that it's working correctly. Actually, if we go to Safari and go to AI guide tours, you will see that it's on the HTTPS, right? And you see that our Safari is using encrypted connection with the AI guide tours. We can see the certificate that is issued by Letsencrypt Tuesday, June 9, 2020, 2024, which is, yeah, exactly when I started to record this video. This one still, this one has a cache, so this will take a while because unlike the Safari, it haven't cached the other stuff. I don't know if I have a Firefox. I don't have it. So yeah, here we go. We set up our domain with the HTTPS, with the SSL. and we actually can go to hello, right, and receive our hello back with secured connection. So now nobody can steal our password, even though we don't have it right now. But yeah, so now you know how to do it with Quarkus, and it was actually really easier. If I had already a certificate, it could be like in a few minutes, but taking into account that you need to set up the cloud console image, right? The I would say EC2, but in it's Google App Engine, Compute Engine, right? So we need to specify the set up our engine, get the external IP, set it as an A record. It's actually, yeah, set as an A record in domain, then verify by the SSL via the text to record, convert this PEM file into the format that is available for the Quarkus, feed it to Quarkus, and then you're ready to go, basically, right? So that's kind of easy. So I decided to create like a separate video where you have everything together. So if you're a starter, if you're not working like in some old-fashioned environment where you have everything maybe supplied by someone, so this is like a startup guide, basically, right? How to set up a Quarkus for a startup with the HTTPS and all this stuff. Most of the time, let's say, you will use actually a reverse proxy, like in Nginx or Apache. You will generate the Letsencrypt the SSL separately, and you'll just use the map the Quarkus to some port. That's like the default guide. But this is also available, and if you use only Quarkus on specific port, this is perfect. This is exactly what you need and nothing more, right? So yeah, now you know how to set up SSL or HTTPS with Quarkus and Letsencrypt, and I'll see you in the next lecture.